I think that we're entering a season, or a move of God or a revival, all three really, where there we cannot afford to entertain the spirit of the fear of man anymore. Time is short. Maybe not today, but time is short. Uh, we again, broken record. Lord has spoken this over me several times this year. Invest your time like money. Be wise. And how many times does the fear of man negate conversations because you just would rather not, or you don't have the energy, or you don't want to have the fight, or you don't want to? I mean, I know there are some people, even people in my life, who love a challenge, who love those hard conversations, who love to debate. But honestly, not very many, because in our culture anyway, it feels like we have been taught or convinced that it's better just to keep the peace. And I was telling Lori, I was listening to Preston Morrison's message on spiritual warfare, actually. I just started, like I'm only a few minutes in, but he was talking about how the algorithm is such a tool of the enemy because it feeds you all the things that you like and you agree with and nothing else. And so all of a sudden you feel like you are in the majority and everyone believes like you, but in real life, that's not true. And so we isolate, or we only gather with like minded people, and we feel like we're right and they're wrong, and there's no communication. And I think love them or hate them, what Charlie Kirk did for this culture is bring forth front and center the power of debate again, and inviting those conversations back into the realm of possibility. Like, I don't want to have a mic and a table in the middle of public square, but maybe I could tap into a little bit of boldness to have coffee with somebody who I know disagrees with me. I think the point that Preston was making about the algorithm is that there's a gap in between, and we all think that everyone believes like us, and when we find out they don't, we just disassociate, or we unfollow, or instead of having a conversation and finding what we do agree on and building a friendship on that, or a relationship or a conversation around that, and still being willing to say, well, I hear you on these points and I don't agree with them, but I'm still willing to hear you. And I think like I said, our culture has kind of been trained and taught to avoid that because the enemy would much rather divide and conquer. When there is unity, the enemy loses every time because he is against unity. And what did Jesus pray before he left? Father, make them one like us, unify them. And so they are one like us. And when we can be unified, we are more powerful, and we are less likely to fall for the lies and the tricks and the schemes of the enemy.